This is Lee with 83 Game and 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. This is video 7 of my playthrough comparing April's Harvest, Battle of Shiloh by the Gamers from 1995 to Shiloh, the First Day, Crisis in the West by Revolution Games 2024. So, April's Harvest, series designer, Dean N. Essig. Shiloh, the First Day, is the blind sword system developed by Hermann Luttmann. And then, with April's Harvest, the game designer for this volume, which is the 9th volume in the Civil War Brigade Series, was Wambold. And for Shiloh, the First Day, this is volume 11 in their American Civil War series. The game design was by Steve Carey. And all of the other contributors, which I'm very grateful to, are discussed or listed in the description. Okay, each video will have that. So a lot of the names are going to be familiar with, well, I guess with both. Let me look here. See if it has. Let's see. Where's the? See if they have it here. No. Where do they put the all of the credits? Oh, here it is. Let's turn on our light here. All right. So if we look, okay, we've got the credits here. Al R. Wambold, Dean N. Essig. Game development, Dean N. Essig. And then just playtesting. Graphics, Dean N. Essig. Production management, Sarah Essig. So, a kind of a short list except for when you're looking at the playtesters. Okay. And then on the other side, okay, is where we have really a list of reoccurring names for Revolution Games. Game map, Edmund, Hudson. Game counters, Charlie Kibler. Box art, Mark Mahaffey. Game development, Roger Miller. Special, let's see, exclusive rules editing, Steve Campbell and Julie Dawn Feind. Rules and charts layout, Richard Handewith. And then, of course, Hermann Luttmann. And then we have the playtesters there. And revolutiongames.us is where you go check them out. They've got sales regularly. I don't know that they're having any right now, but you can always check. And so I'm constantly having to go and take a look because, you know, I'm not, I don't receive any kind of email letting me know that, hey, they've got a new edition, a new volume. And so I wasn't aware of the Shiloh being available until not too long before I started the video series. So I've got to remind myself to go take a look. And with the Civil War Brigade, of course, that's now become the line of battle. And I don't know that much about that. So, all right, so let's jump right in here. I did want to mention something about a Union soldier. I think he was an officer with, I don't know if we actually know who he was actually with, which unit he was with. See if I can find his picture real quick here. with Buell's army. So he didn't actually take part in the first day. Okay, and that's Ambrose Bierce. Okay, kind of a handsome, dashing-looking individual there. Okay, and became one of America's best-known writers. He's famous for the Devil's Dictionary, which if you haven't, taken a look at that, I suggest that you do that. Very interesting, and it's satirical as well, but also a lot of humor there in, kind of poking fun at words and their definitions and so forth, how they're used and so forth. So, but he wrote a short story entitled "An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge" that became quite famous. And Owl Creek, see it right there, Owl Creek was at Shiloh. That's where that river is, or creek, okay? So we've got a bridge here, okay? But then we also have a bridge that's way up there toward the western end, okay? Right here. So it's basically a story of a spy, okay? And it's kind of got a surprise ending, but it's a very interesting story. So if you ever get a chance, you can look it up, pull it up on any kind of search engine. If you can also, I'm sure, use bookstores and other places you can find maybe some of Bitter Bierce's work. Okay, became known as Bitter Bierce after his sardonical, style that was probably influenced by the death of his wife and a couple of his children. So I really enjoy reading Bierce's work. And I have a book somewhere, I hope I still have it, that had all of his, of course it doesn't have his editorials and stuff like that, but his short story work, poetry, just some of his collection of his writing. And so I'm trying to think if he wrote poetry. But anyways, so I believe he was an editor for a paper or a magazine at one point. A lot of writers at the time period had spent some time as a journalist or editor, so forth, for a paper. So, but he actually served in the Union Army, was at Shiloh toward the end of the day, and then the second day. So, all right, so we're ready to start turn. Let's see, should be, yeah, we're at the 2 o'clock turn. And I'm going to do something different this turn, in that the Confederates, if they don't pass their leadership rating roll, that unit will still be able to move half of their movement. So I'm just frustrated with not being able to do anything. There's just, very little movement whatsoever. So I have to start off by rolling for possible random event. And of course I rolled a 1, so we're going to have a random event. And let's see here. Go up here, I got to find the August harvest random event. Well, maybe it's not here. Oh, no, that's August. Barren, Bloody Roads. There's Perryville. Brace of Angry Wind. I guess not. Maybe it must be in the. Let's see. Maybe it's in. Well, I've got this right here. So I guess I'll roll that first to see what the result will be. Okay, we rolled an 8. Advanced reinforcements. Now, don't have any reinforcements. So, well, let's see. Now, yeah, they don't even have the gunboat, I don't think. Let's see. I don't believe the gunboat is included in this. So I guess that would we'll just have to ignore that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't even see the gunboat on here. The Army of Ohio says dice roll has not been successful as of the beginning of the scenario. Historically, it should not occur. It should occur at 4:30. So I guess, let's see. Oh, so there's no counters for the gunboats. They're just running up and down the bank of the river. But of course, the range is not very good because it's only 3 hexes from the river, so on the gunboats. But with the Ohio, let's see. Oh, arrival of the Ohio, Army of Ohio. Okay, so what we do is we roll 2 dice. If we get a 65 or more, then they would arrive. But, of course, they don't. So there goes there fits our random event. All right, so I might as well put these straggler markers on some of these units that are not going to be able to do anything. The W Cavalry, see where they're at. They've got quite a few stragglers. So, put a straggler recovery there. Pond, is that right? Yeah, Pond. Yeah. What's that, Kentucky? No, he doesn't have any. Man, he's an AAB. I haven't been moving him. Johnson. Yeah, he's not going to be able to move, so we'll put the straggler on him. Shaver. Let's see what Shaver's got. Yeah, Shaver. So, supposed to do this at the beginning. Gibson. Yeah. He needs to. Gladden. Why not? We're not really going to have much Statham. Yeah, he could only get one back. Chalmers. Yeah, he could get a couple back. All right. Well, we've got another cavalry unit there. Cavalry 1. Nope. Okay. All right, so now we're taking care of that. So now let's begin seeing if we can activate some of these guys. Well, we're going to, but it may be limited. So we'll start with Hardy. Right there. Okay, he got a 1, so he gets a full activation. So the next one will be Rugel's, but here we are really the only column is only going to benefit us if we go on either a track or a road or something. So we're not going to do that. Oops. And this is Cleburne. Cleburne has, he's at an AB right now. So see here, yeah. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he moves to there, and then Hardy's now going to move to there. He wants to be able to move the Kentucky Brigade. All right. So then we go to Rugel's. I rolled a 2. Okay, so they're just going to be able to move half. And that's Anderson. And then I'm going to move Rugel's. It's going to move to here. All right, so this is where he's going to change to column to go up the road here, because he could go half. So 1 to change to column, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and then he can go, let's see, 3.5. Three and a half, 3.5, 4, 5. And you didn't even see that, did you? All right, so let's start this again. Okay, So I changed to, I moved Ruggles to there. Okay, changes to column, that's 1. 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 4, changes back to line. That's 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. He can't move a 4. He can only move 3. Ugh. Okay. So that was change 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Well, he's still being column. So he's at 2.5 right there. That's pretty dangerous. Just because he's in column with that artillery across the field there. All right, so Hindman back here. Okay. Roll to 6, so he can only move half. So these guns, half, 1, 2.5, no, half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. And then Hindman is going to stay with those guns. All right. So now let's move on around. Okay. So now we got poke right there. 3. Okay, so they're going to have to just move half. So basically that's just going to be able to move like that. That's it. So poke is going to have to stay with them. So you can't really move that far even if I just do half. Okay, Clark. Four, which means they can move half. So he goes 1 here. I don't think. I didn't get to use the road at all. We'd have to change to be able to move up the road. So. All right, so changes the column. He goes to here, so that's 1, 2, 2.5, 3. And so Clark needs to stay with him. Then I got Johnson. Okay, he gets the full activation. So Wood. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, as far as he can go. And Johnson better stay with him. Get those 3 leaders working together. Okay. Let's see if I got Breckenridge. I want to do him next. Right here. 5. That means he can just move half, which I'm going to round up. So I get 7. So we've got, let's see, half, 1. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Oh. And then Breckenridge will, guess he'll go right here. And we've got Cheatham right there. Rolled a 4. That means they're going to be limited. So I'm going to get to move 3 movement points. So let's see here what we got. Okay, so we got the peach orchard. He's not changing elevation. So the orchard is, okay, no effect. So 1, 2, 3, just like that. All right, and we use Withers. Rolled a 4, so he can only move half. And Jackson, he's at an AB. So wait a minute here. 1, 2, 3. He would have only been able to move to right there. He didn't get to use. He didn't get to use the road in line. And then Jackson, would be able to go 1, 2, 3. And Withers will be here, back here with Statham. All right, so we're not going to have, well, yeah, we will. Okay, so now let's go to the defensive fire, and we've got some. Right here. He can fire right there into those woods at that column. And he's got a strength of 3. 2, 3, 4. All right. So, okay, we've got a artillery, 3 guns, or 3 batteries. Actually, that's like 9 guns. Okay. It's going to have a strength of 2. So, and let's see, they're in column though, so that's going to be a +2. So we're going to be 5/6 strength. So we got 6. Okay, so that is a casualty. Then we check for stragglers. Okay. That's A12. That's Anderson. So he's also wrecked, so we gotta go even more than that. It's not. That'll be for later. Okay, so he takes a loss. Now he's at strength of B. Okay, stragglers. He has C morale. Okay. So I rolled a 4 plus 2 for being wrecked. Okay. So 6. So we took 1 straggler. And then we roll for his morale, 36. C. Okay, he's a wreck brigade, but not of the division, just himself. 36 is just, he's going to be shaken. Which is going to be removed at the end of the activation. All right. Higher level here. I think he can fire here. He's at a higher level. So, well, no, that's in the way. We gotta move this. We gotta move it down. So, actually trying to fire to there. And, what happened here? Kind of pushed all these guys around. Okay, so what I was saying is this, these trees here block fire to here. This is at a lower level. So I guess he could see the fire there, or he can actually fire here. This guy in column. He's at a higher level. So yeah. All right, so that's the strength of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Distance of 5. Right there. All right, range is 5. Gun points are 4. So strength of 1. He's in column though, so it's gonna move over to the right too, so it's at 3, 4. Seven. That's a hit. This causes a casualty. 100 men. I think that's Stewart. S11. Yeah, so he takes a hit. Okay. So then we take a look at stragglers. He has a B morale, and I rolled a 4. So yeah, that's a straggler. And then his morale, I rolled a 62. 62, and he's got a B. Okay, he's in column. So he's got to go down. That other one should have went down 6. Would have been worse than shaken. I have to look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 6. I rolled a 62. So that's disorganized back to and a straggler. So he takes another straggler, disorganized. Oops. And we got to roll to see if Clark is taken out. So they're going to go back 1, 2 back to there. And we roll for, let's see, just 1 dice, right? No, it's 2. I rolled a 15. No, you add them together. 6 is no effect. Okay. All right. Let's see if we got any other artillery that can hit somebody. Got these woods here, but this guy's at a higher level. Yeah, Jackson is. I think we've got 1. Yeah, 1 strength there. We got 3 there though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, oh, we've got 4 there. So we'd have to combine all of this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, that's 7, 8. So we'd have a total of 8 strength there. So, okay, you can only fire at a total of 5, it looks like. Well, no, you just have to 5 out of 1 hex. So, yeah, so we got 4, 3, and 1. So that'll be 5 and then 3. So 5 and what I say, how many hexes? 1. Well, we got to move down here where we can see it. All right, so here we've got a 2 and another 2. Okay, here we got 3. And then here with Prentice, we've got the 1. All right, so that's 5 at a range of 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys, yeah. Let me think about this a second. Okay, I think that's where this guy was at. I don't think he was there. I think I had him right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he's 6 away. And he's got 4. So that's 1. And then we've got 3 and then 1. They're both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 is just going to give half, and then 1 will give half. So that's going to be a total of 2. Okay. He's not in column or anything. Okay. All right, so 4. That's going to be a morale check. So we just go straight to the morale check. I rolled a 62. Okay, Jackson has a morale of B, I bet. Yeah. B, and he's not wrecked. Okay, and I rolled, what, a 62? So he's shaken, back 1. So he's going to go back to the Bloody Pond. Bloody Pond was a place that, okay, you can see it right here. It was by the peach orchard and the hornet's nest. It was a place where both Army soldiers could well, they got a drink of water, and they didn't attack each other or fire at each other at that pond. This occurred throughout the war. That soldiers would give a moment of reprieve at watering locations where they didn't try to monopolize or use the water sources as a trap or use it to, snipe it at their opponents as they came to get a drink. So, and let's see it. What was it? What I roll, 62? Yeah, so he's shaken. But of course, that being the last Union defensive fire, I can remove that. That shaken just falls off. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this one over here. This one becomes shaken. And this changes. It's not shaken. And then we can go through and try to see if we can get some stragglers back. So we'll start up here at the top where we've got a cavalry unit. Try to get some of his troopers back. So W. Where's he at? There he is. Rolled a 2, and he's got, well, he's wrecked. So I guess that doesn't affect straggler recovery table being wrecked. But he didn't get any back. So now we go to this one here, which is Pond. Okay. And I rolled a 3. That's going to get 1 back for Pond. Okay. Then we move to here. And that's Johnson. He's stacked there with Rugal. Okay. Rolled a 4. That's just going to get 1 back. Johnson. Okay. All right. So then we come down here to the east end. What has this guy got? Okay, he's shaking. All right, right here, we've got Shaver. Okay, we rolled a 5. Shaver's going to get 1 back. Okay. I'm going to just roll 3 dice for these others. All of them right here. Now we got Breckenridge there. I guess that didn't help us either. All right, so we got the Chalmers, Gibson, and then Gladden. So the only one that's going to get any back is going to be Chalmers. So, all right. All right, so that's the end of the Confederate activation. So now we go to the Union. And with them, we also want to try, we're going to try to get some stragglers back. So let's pull back here, and I'll put these on here. Okay, so we got McDowell. We're going to do straggler recovery with him. McClellan has Marsh. Okay, try to do some there. Okay, they don't have any. Tuttle should be there. I get pushed back. So Tuttle just all the way across. Here. Oops. Here and here. movement-wise, this artillery here, okay, it's going to limber, that's 3, and then 4, and then 4.5, 5. So he'll be just right there. Yeah, I can't go. I want to put him into this hex here, but can't get in there yet. All right, so let's take care of the stragglers. Okay, so I'm going to be rolling here, here, and here. This one, and then this one. The first two, I'm not going to get any back. So, no stragglers, no stragglers. Oh, well, let's see, before I do that, though, I'm not going to have any defensive fire. Don't have any artillery that's up there, but I'm going to have some offensive fire. Right here, we've got these guns here, 3, strength of 3, firing at these guys in this column again. So, range is 1, 2, 3, 4. And set a strength of 3. That's going to be, well, it actually shows a half. Is that right? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Strength of 3. So that was a half. Moves up because he's in column up to a 2. 6 is going to be morale check. I got snake eyes, so that's no effect. And this guy here is now not in sight because he went down. So no one is now in sight. Well, let's see, this guy is. Stevens, he's in sight of all of these guys. So, oops. Again, that's going to be, let's see. We've got 2 and 2 there. Okay, range is to here. Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be half. So that's going to be let's say 4, yeah, so that's a half. These guys have right there, I think that's a 3. Yeah, 3 plus the 1 here is 4. That's another half. So that's going to be a 1. So 7 is going to be a morale hit with a shift, and the morale roll is a 12. That's not going to do anything. Not putting in bloodlust. Yeah. So he's going to be in bloodlust. The other one should have been, he goes to bloodlust too, because I rolled snake eyes. And we've got bloodlust here. All right. All right, so now I can go back to the straggler. Okay, that one there is going to get one straggler back, and that is Tuttle. Tuttle. All right, so when we get straggler recovery, straggler recovery. Okay, so Tuttle is now not wrecked, which means that Wallace is not wrecked. Okay. All right, then we have the next four. Here, 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 and here. Okay. Okay, no, no, no. I don't think with a 3. I think they're gonna. Depends on whether he's a A or a B. So no here, no here, here, A16. Yeah, he didn't either. All right, and then here, 16, which is Peabody. He didn't have one. Williams does get one back, but he's still wrecked. All right. Okay, let's remove that. I don't have any shaken to remove from any of these units, and the 2 o'clock turn is over. Right there. And I think I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to go over to this other side. So, and the next turn, I'm just going to remove Johnson. So at the end of the 2:30 turn, Johnson's going to be done. and I'll put Beauregard in. And I'll pick up with the blind swords over here in the next video. So that's where we'll be, which will be the 2 o'clock turn. We'll have some just a few reinforcements coming in. So here we're going to have a Statham division right there, 19th Tennessee, and then over here we've got the 57th Illinois with Sweeney coming in. The gunboat doesn't come in until the 2:30 turn. So I've got the chit draw cup all prepared. The first Confederate activation will be Wood with Hardee's division. Their plan is to attack Tuttle over here. And I also got to talk about these wrecked brigades. Stevens is wrecked, Schaefer is wrecked, Gibson is wrecked. So they're going to be out. I'll have to, well, I think I've already pulled their division leader from, or yeah, where it applied. Cheatham I pulled and Rugel's I pulled. So I don't think they are able to come out of their wreck status, which is why I didn't allow the Stevens unit to come onto the map, because they're not going to be activated. So we've got that to discuss, the how a unit becomes wrecked. And I should have been paying maybe a little closer attention earlier on, because one of the things that it requires is they must have a non what's the term? It's a unit that only has one side. It can't be depleted. It's got to have a full strength, I guess, unit. And so we have that with Gibson, Shaver, okay, are two of them. Stevens, yeah, Shaver, Stevens, and Gibson. That's actually three, yeah. They have to have a unit on the broke box, and all of their other units on the map must be depleted, battle worn. So Gibson is, Schaefer, and Stevens right here. So they all ended up being wrecked, which is going to really limit the Confederate attack now. So this is really I think a really great mechanic is adding the wreck status. It will make you pay more attention to regrouping and trying to rebuild your units, instead of just sending them in there to get hammered on. You know, I sent Gibson in there against the Union line, and they were sent reeling back, and they're now wrecked. And that was a pretty strong division, which is now useless. They've taken too many losses. Is basically what wrecked signifies, is the division. I mean, the brigade, not division, but the brigade has taken too many losses to really function. So I like that status. I wasn't for sure whether or not I was going to like that, but I like that addition mechanic there. So, and all you can do is withdraw or just stay where you're at. You're not really, going to be able to move forward or attack. You don't even get to activate. So you do get defensive fire, supporting fire. You can defend against an assault, but or an attack. I call it assault. So the Confederacy has lost 3 divisions. So they're now down to 6. That's all they got. And got to be careful about getting some of their other brigades wrecked. So be interesting to see how that affects their attack. Really, they're not going to get, I don't think they're going to be able to get to this victory location by coming this way. Sweeney has got three regiments there. Although they have all 3 have, they're going to have weakened cohesion ratings. There is that artillery there to cause some issues. And we got there, Lawman. Tuttle is close to being wrecked. He doesn't have anybody on the broke track though. Shaver here, this unit here is trapped, but it's wrecked. So, and they're on that victory point, but they're not going to stay there. I don't see them being able to hold that since they're wrecked. So all I really have up there is wood. Shaver and Gibson are wrecked. I got Gladden here, but he's got 3 of his regiments are battle worn, and it's not going to be easy to try to get them to their full side. So and with 1, 2, 3, 4 turns left, Chalmers and Jackson are going to have to focus on pushing hard to get back into here, okay, or even here. And they can't do it from here trying to cut across. They're going to have to move up, get on a trail, use this road. That's basically the only way that they're really going to, I think the Confederates are going to be able to get a victory, is go for the automatic victory. The strength of the Union is on the western end, on their right flank. So Stewart's not going to be able to do much down here. We need to, maybe leave him there with these other guys up. So I may want to be changing, well, maybe not. Maybe I want to move Wood away, move him around to try to tie up some of these guys here so that they can't drift to protect back here. They can give up, they've already got that, they could give up this and bring their line a little further back to make sure that I can't get to these vital uh, victory point locations. That's really what the Union needs to do, is fall back. I don't know. I'll think about it, and we'll get back to that in the next video. But I do like how the limited movement, the reduced movement, but guaranteed activation on the Confederates, just due to the fact that they've got such a low leadership rating over here. It allowed at least some movement, which is more historical than, not doing anything. You get the ransack of the Union camps and so forth from only being able to move units that are, with a leader. So the leader is coming and is, getting the troops to organize and move forward. But with such low leadership ratings, you can't roll. You're not gonna. Your chances of rolling low enough to get anybody to move is going to basically not allow you to move. So they've got to be able to move, some. Maybe they're hesitant. Maybe that's why they only get half. But I think I like that rule better. It's just a house rule. It makes more sense to me as a more historical flavor to it than, going 2 or 3. I mean, basically, some of these leaders, I've only moved once. They've only, a unit that's been with the leader has only been able to move once in 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. So I haven't really been able to even get any kind of attack going against the Union. Maybe the first turn, that's just because I had so many units that were adjacent. And when they were adjacent, they could at least fire. Well, now there's been a space created because the Union fell back. So, and I can understand troops, stopping to, pick up scraps or, items dropped by the Union as they retreated. You got their camps, their supplies and food and so forth. That makes sense, but, not when you have a leader that's there, that's prodding them to continue the fight and begin to move toward where the Union withdrew from towards. So I just know we'll see where the line is, where we're at with casualties and so forth at the end of the scenario. Maybe we can find some loss results and compare that with what I've got. And then over here, I think the Confederate attack at 1:30 by Gibson, I think that was when it happened, 1:30, was a mistake. Maybe it was 1 o'clock. Whenever I sent Gibson in to attack, you can't send the whole brigade in to attack. You've got to send in several regiments. You can't just say, well, I'm just sending the whole brigade because, you know, then you get your whole brigade wrecked. So I'm not using very good tactics here. Same thing when I was playing the Isla 1807. I'm not a very good tactician, apparently, concerning the use of a brigade. And not just lining them across and letting them all go in. You've got to be able to send, a couple of your regiments in and have a couple in reserve, and then you switch them out. And when you pull them back, you try to, remove the morale markers. You try to rebuild the unit, gather back some stragglers, and get some strength back. So, I've done that I did that with Schaefer. I did that with Gibson. I did it with Jackson. And Stevens. Of course, the Union, they have the advantage because we're just in the defensive line, and it's up to the Confederates to push them off that line. So that defensive fire, which is so deadly, is showing in these wrecked brigades. So I'll see what maybe I can, improve some of this, my tactical play. Chalmers here, he's got only one regiment left at full strength, but he doesn't have anybody on the broken track yet, just yet. So he's close to being wrecked. Statham has 2 units on the broke track. Needs to try to rebuild them. But he's got 3 regiments that are still full strength. Bowen, he's got 3 regiments on the broke track. So he's only got this one left. That's the only reason he's not wrecked. So here's that bloody pond where I think I've got a picture in this book. Let's see, pretty sure there is a picture of the bloody pond. Yeah. There's someone even posted it. All right, so here's a picture of the bloody pond. Okay, and somebody even labeled it there. So it became a place of refuge for soldiers of both sides who declined to kill one another while partaking in its waters. So it's a fence there too. But imagine the dysentery and other issues that you'd have after drinking from that dirty water. That's something that occurred throughout the Civil War, as I already mentioned about, and even you would have times where in between days of battle, okay, you had battles that occurred on multiple days, you would have soldiers that would carry water, their canteens out, and give drinks to wounded soldiers of both sides that were laying in the middle of the two armies. So you had at times mercy given. And you have to remember, these were fellow Americans. Sometimes brothers, cousins, relatives that could be on either side. And so there were times of deathly deeds and other times of angelic ones as well, I guess. So you can find many reports of that. You got Shelby Foote, his Civil War series, plus many others. I think a lot of people, or some people, think that Shelby Foote, who was a Southerner, was a little biased. And can you fault him? I don't. I really enjoyed listening to him. There was a PBS special, a documentary on the Civil War that I used to have on VHS that I would show in my classes when I was teaching about the Civil War. And he was one that they went to many times, to give little tidbits. And his Southern drawl was so pleasant to your ears. He could be one of those that, like Matthew McConaughey, that has the app where he talks, and you can hear his voice and just kind of talk you to sleep. I could fall asleep with Shelby Foote just listening to him. I'd like to, I guess, have audiobooks. Then I could just sit and listen at night and fall asleep. Listen to him talk about the Civil War. So, 2 o'clock, next video concerning Shiloh, the first day. And to be honest, I would choose the blind sword system more often if I was choosing, to play between the two. One is a little clunky, okay. The other is smooth, and it's enjoyable to play for one thing. Not saying that the other's not. I do enjoy playing April's Harvest, but and playing the Civil War Brigade Series, I do. But the blind swords is it's so much more fun to play. The play just kind of flows like a river, continuously, until you get to the end. There's not hiccups I think it would be something that you could also play with multiple players instead of just, say, 2 people. But, you know, you have multiple divisional leaders. You could have multiple players on each side. You know, you could even have somebody being the CIC, who could be, you know, giving out written orders prior to each new turn of what they are expected to do, okay? And then whether or not that leader wants to follow that, that would be up to him. And so you could have a lot of fun with that. And it's something that would move pretty fast, because then each divisional leader would already have, you know, in his mind, he would already be planning on what he was going to do or plan to do. Of course, he's still going to have to roll for you know, everything, but you know he's going to have, for the most part, he's going to have multiple units to activate. So he's just not sitting there twiddling his thumbs, but he's watching the action, and you know, then deciding, you know, when his leader is pulled, then he can quickly roll the dice and you know, move accordingly. And I think that would be a very exciting playthrough of any of these, because you're always going to have multiple leaders. So that would be something I could actually use this if I was still teaching. I would use it in my class. One thing, it's not too expensive that you couldn't purchase more than one copy. You know, probably want to have a class copy. That way, if something happened to pieces or something, we could deal. But there's enough there that you can, in a smaller class, you can divide up. You know, you could even, you know, you would be able to, you know, have the divisional commander, but then you turn around and have the brigade commanders that would actually move them on the units on the map, with the divisional commander, you know, spouting out orders and what they want to happen, you know, and then they could be upset about, you know. Tuttle, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked. I wanted you to press forward your attack here, you know, stuff like that. But a lot of possibilities, especially with this the first day, volume 11, with so many scenarios, and you've got larger maps, smaller maps. So, you know, lots of possibilities there with use in, say, a classroom setting. And something small enough, you could actually place a plastic case over the top to keep it from being disturbed in between classes and so forth. So you could have the table set up, and then as you draw the division leader, you could have whichever brigade leader is going to be assigned. You could have them come up to that area, and of course then they could then make their moves, and then if they're attacking a specific brigade or brigade and regiments, then you bring them up. You know, you've got somebody in charge of all the artillery, and so many possibilities. So, but this will be it for now. I'll pick up with the 2 o'clock turn on the Shiloh the first day in the next video. So come on back, see what happens. See you next time.